We're back. We're back. It's been a bit of a pause here for a couple weeks. I know I've been away. Combination of reasons. Some good, some bad, but doing okay and ready to do a nice stream tonight. Tonight we're going to ink this Incredible Hulk, but first we are going to take a look at a couple books that I just got recently. One, my friend Landis brought me from France. He was just at Angoulême, and I'm not going to be able to say any of this correctly, but it's called Lannee de la Comete by Clément Voulier. I don't know if I said any of that right. And then Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery, a collection of the Boba Fett series from Kennedy on the art from Dark Horse Comics, written by John Wagner, I believe, the guy from, John Wagner of 2000 AD fame. Hopefully get a little bit of fun inking done today. I was working on a sketch cover today. Here, I'll go ahead and show it on you. This will be auctioned off for a charity by 4-Color Fantasy. So I just did a Witchblade. They gave me a few different covers to choose from, and I realized I've probably never drawn Witchblade. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to draw Witchblade. So just a little Witchblade action here. Got some zip tones on the city. Some cool lighting. Hopefully folks will dig it. I did 2 for them. The other one I did was I did it a long time ago. I think I did it on the stream, was Exo Manowar. So I have these 2 going. Gonna ship those out once I get this scanned. So that was fun. Let's see who's here. Kova's look at. Yo, hey Kova. Greg Parker says, Happy Tuesday, T Dizzle. I'll take that. Holy cow, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for saying. Thank you for saying. Well, I think what we'll do is maybe we'll start with, let's start with this big book. So I didn't know anything about this, and my friend Landis Blair, amazing artist, he picked this up while he was in Angoulême, and he got one for himself and one for me because he knew it would be right up our alley. So it's just it's completely wordless, and it's just images, and there's a super intensity to the detail of the images. Everything's represented with line, and it's kind of like this comet comes and hits a planet and creates life, I think is the idea, sort of the origins of a planet, biome maybe. But it's just these beautiful spreads. Greg Parker asked where it will be auctioned. 4-Color Fantasies is the comic shop doing the auction for that sketch cover I showed off. And I think they're going to do that in April. And if you just go to their Facebook, I think is where they run the auction. And they just put all the images up of the different things. And they have good stuff. Like last year they had, stuff from me. But I think there was like a James Herron on there. There might have been a Chris Pacello. They always get a lot of good artists and a lot of up-and-coming artists too. So there's a lot of different price points. So you can definitely pick something up good. And it goes towards, I believe, children's literacy. Anyway, so this comic is nuts, right? No panel gutters. And just like this very stylized representation of everything. So it's rocks and mountains and everything and water, but the way he kind of, I assume it's a he, I don't know, stylizes the stuff is crazy. And there's hatch marks, in the waves here. It looks almost like, it's reminiscent of like a woodblock cut, but with way more kind of fine details. And look at this amazing thing you did with the clouds up here. That's really great. Just these kind of interlocking shapes. Again, it doesn't look like real clouds. It's like an icon for clouds, And same thing with the water. It's like an icon for water, but then rendered out in this beautiful manner. And you get this lightning and stuff happening here. It's a pretty crazy book. Maybe I shouldn't show the whole thing, but as you can see, it kind of goes through different phases. Lava. But anyway, it's a very beautiful book, and again, it's called let's see, how do you, I don't think I can show it on here, but it's called, Lannee de la Comete by Comete Vuillier. And I think I wrote it in the description too. But pretty cool. Huge thanks to Landis for this. Landis is a good buddy, and that was really thoughtful of him, and I really appreciate it. All right. So I finally broke down and bought this. Pepsi Cola. Sending good vibes. Well, thanks, Pepsi Cola. Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery. So I think a lot of us have probably seen this image of Boba Fett. I know I had tons of times before I even really knew much about this comic. And I eventually started seeing more images of the art and getting really into Cam Kennedy's work. The guys who worked on this are kind of, I think their pedigree is the 2000 AD stuff, Judge Dredd and all that kind of thing. And that stuff's great. But Cam Kennedy is really incredible, and the work he does on this book is really, really cool. This is Star Wars back before the prequels, and when it was still at Dark Horse, and they did the books they hit a little different. It felt like there was some freedom, right? Like, he's a very stylistic artist, and so all the characters are stylized, and I feel like nowadays the property holders are just like right over your shoulder, like a hawk, being like, no, that doesn't look like Jabba the Hutt. You got to change his eye shape, and so they suck all the personality out of it, and so you don't really get these unique artistic visions the way you did back in this time. But Cam Kennedy can draw like anything, and he colors this too, and the colors are pretty wild, and it's like all the Star Wars tech and creatures and stuff, but drawn with this kind of little bit of his flair. He's got a lot of straight angles in his stuff that I really like. A lot of really cool spotted black shapes, which he does here with outline and color. And so there's like the black, and then there's these sort of almost like color holes is what they look like, even though I think that's not how he did it. I think it's probably an underpainting. But you get all this stylization of these really cool Star Wars characters and tech, and these beautiful color palettes, and some really great cartooning. I love the way I remember I was talking to some people saying how they didn't like the way this looked when it originally came out because they didn't think it looked enough like Boba Fett. And I'm like, that's why I like it. It's like it looks, cartooned. It's really cool. And look at this truck up here that he draws, man. How cool is that? That's the kind of thing you'd never see in a new Star Wars thing. A truck with that kind of personality to it. Everything is so kind of over designed, and whatever. I don't need to rag on Star Wars. We've all been there, but this has got a really neat feel to it. There's a couple different kind of stories going on in here. Kidnapping, getting people to do different things. A lot of it is all the Hutts controlling things. They're sort of the gangsters, as we know. But look at the Slave One. Isn't that cool? And the way he watercolored out this planet back here in the background. Wow. His stuff almost gives me Jamie Hewlett vibes a little bit. I guess he probably predates Jamie Hewlett. I don't know. But it has that kind of sharpness to it, and it's crisp, but then there's these nice thick areas of black that give it weight. He chooses cool angles. He plays a lot with perspective, which is neat. The storytelling is really clear. Look at look at this fish head guy. I mean, he's pretty wild looking, right? He's got like these little eyes on the side of his head. It's pretty neat. You get to see Boba Fett use all his cool gadgets and stuff. And I'm loving these palettes. But like right here, he does a really cool thing where they're like in the extreme foreground looking down on these guys. And then so there's like their plane and then this plane. So the actual perspective isn't completely right, but the way he sort of bent the space creates a much better composition, right? Sometimes it doesn't matter if all your perspective is perfect. It's more important sometimes to just shift it a little bit, right? because they really would have been still on the, if they were looking down on them, kind of the same plane. But it works, you know, you don't even really notice, and it doesn't really matter. These spaceships are so cool, the way he draws them. And here it explodes, all these people get sucked out everywhere. It's pretty crazy. Brunson, what's up, pal? Good to see you there. Almost a Japanese art style, Greg said about the previous book. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, I don't know, when I look at Cam's stuff, I'm really trying to take away sort of some of the stylistic flourishes, but also just how efficient a lot of it is. You know, he's so good at spotting blacks and finding those dark shapes that's doing so much of the work that he doesn't have to go nuts on detail everywhere. And that's something I'm always trying to work on too, is a lot of times what you want to do is evoke. It is cool to completely, like the first movie, that kind of render it all completely out. That's really fun, and that's a different kind of way of doing it. But for me right now, I'm trying to go the other direction because I'm so used to the over rendering. I want to try to get more to where, you know, I can be a little more efficient, and find these useful shapes and these useful, you know, variations and line weights and stuff that just help everything pop. So if you guys haven't checked this out, I kind of, it came up or something the other day, and I was like, you know what, I need to just get that, because I had like a PDF of some of it, and I was like, I just need to get that book. But I was afraid it was going to be a ton of money, because sometimes these older Star Wars ones are more, because it's just like versions that you'll never see, like I was saying. But I picked this up used for like $14 or something, and I would highly recommend grabbing it. It's like, it's a very cool, I mean, look at this, you know, just really cool sci-fi art, but done in an efficient, kind of compelling way. I would highly recommend it. You know, Cam is a master. Does really cool stuff. Look at this car kind of coming around the corner here, and it's so efficient, man. It's so efficient. So that is I won't show you the whole thing, but look at the green here for a little bit. These cool rocket launches. This is great here, just showing the hovering bike in the foreground with his foot on the ground, and these guys back here. That's just a great little frame. Very cool. So Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery. I mean, how dope is that cover? That is so cool. I think they might have a couple covers in the back here. Oh, no, they don't. That's a bummer. So, yeah, man. Boba Fett. Boba Fett? Boba Fett, where? All right. So we're going to ink this Hulk. If I remember correctly, I either did this sketch on a stream or before a stream and then tried to turn it into a drawing, and I just couldn't get it to work. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try again to kind of see what I can do with this. I mean, I like it just like this, you know, but I kind of wanted to try to just see if I could work it up a little bit more just for fun. Here we go. Jeremy Heiler, hey pal, good to see you. Brunson, good to see you guys. Nick Forrest is in here. Wow, the whole crew, the whole gang, the gang is here. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to do a quickish Hulk here. I think I don't really even know what I'm expecting this for. It's just sort of like or why I even chose Hulk. For some reason oh, you know what it was? I was earlier today, I finished working on that sketch cover. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to draw something. But first, I had this like giant mess of, I have like a storage thing here on the side of my table. And I just had so much stuff, it was like falling everywhere. Because, you know, I'll do a sketch, I'll throw it over there, or I'll grab a piece of scrap paper. And it was just it was like falling off. So I was going through it and I found that. And I was like, oh, cool. So I always hang on to my sketches for a while, let them float around the room. And sometimes you'll stumble upon something and then be like, oh, you know, that idea was actually for this cover. I had no idea that it was, but that's what it's for. So anyway. But how's everybody doing out there? You guys holding it together? It's been a wild time lately. I hope everybody's doing all right. But Hulk, man. Hulk is cool. I finally picked up an issue of that Nick Klein, what Nick Klein's doing over there in Hulk, and boy, oh boy. Whoo! That dude can draw, man. That guy can draw. It is such a beautiful, beautiful comic. It's almost... I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. To crank out that kind of work, I hope that... I am excited to see more from Nick. I had seen his work before, but for some reason it's hitting a lot different seeing him on Hulk. So, anyway, drawing some fun stuff here. I like drawing rubble. Getting some basic shapes in here first. Nice solo quote. Gotta give you a big thank you, Tyrell, for the sketch covers. You know, Nick, I'm glad that you like them. Those ones were really fun. I got a lot of positive feedback, especially on that Black Panther. That was a really fun one. I hadn't done, one of the first times I ever had a commission list, I got a Black Panther commission, and I was really happy with how it turned out. But I don't think I've drawn him since then, so I was really glad for the opportunity. I'm really happy to hear that you liked it. The Manny draw says, so much energy, dude. Back at you, Manny. Any plans to draw Metroid or Samus? Hey, that's not a bad idea. I was never a Metroid person, not because I hated it or anything. I had a Sega, and that's just what we had, And but Metroid's a cool design. That might be pretty fun. That's not a bad idea. Next time I need an idea, I'll try to look at some Metroid stuff. But if someone wanted me to draw Sonic, I could do that right now. I'm pretty sure I could do like from memory, like something close to what a Sonic looks like. There's like a little, a little Sonic. Whatever. All right. Nick and Danny Earls. That's right. Danny Earls stuff looks pretty cool too. I do prefer Nick's though. Brunson, you're right. It needs an artist edition. Geiger. Yeah, I need to check out Geiger there, Kova's. Look out. I am late to the game on that one. I have some books for me at the shop right now that I got to go pick up, and so I need to head over there. Maybe I'll pick up an issue of Geiger. I haven't been pulling Ultra Mega, but I think a new one came out. I got to go grab that. The other thing I just got, which maybe next time I do a stream, whether that's next week or the week after, I got, right over there on the table, I got the Extremity signature edition, artist edition of Dan's Extremity book. And man, I don't know if he was pranking them or what, to be like, let's do the whole series, like the whole thing as an artist edition, all 12 issues. That thing is massive. So next time I do a stream, I'll have to like flatten my table out and set it up so we can take a look at that, because it's got some cool stuff in it, obviously. Kova said the new issue of Ultra Mega is good. Jeremy says it's bonkers. Yeah, I should probably put it on my poll. I just need to get over my issues and put it on my poll. All right, get some Hulk face in here. I think Hulk is really fun to draw. I mean, obviously, but you know, there's like so much opportunity for expression and like exaggeration. I like the idea that he gets stronger and maybe grows, you know, when he's angrier, you know, so you have like so many things to play with. Greg, it could crush a small child. You're not kidding. You gotta make sure my daughter's in the safe zone if I open up the Extremity Artist Edition. It's almost as heavy as the. It might be heavier, but I don't think it is. It felt like when I got my Frank Frazetta book that I showed off on the stream. That thing is an absolute beast of a book, man. It is huge. It's so heavy. That one I have to sort of work up to if I'm going to get it out and look at it. So the other bit of news I got while we're working here is, oh man, I have a lot of news I cannot tell you guys, and at least until the paperwork is through. So soon I can make a big announcement. But one of the big things I can tell y'all is that the Eris Kickstarter, so my book Eris that I've been working on forever, and I finished it. It's all done, and it's lettered and ready to go. I will be launching that Kickstarter in April. So I hope you guys will stick around and help show some support for the campaign when it shows up. I will probably do some live streams that focus on the book too, you know, maybe walk through some artwork, do those kind of things. And so that'll be coming in early April. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I just finalized all my printing quotes and everything. So now I'm just kind of building the Kickstarter campaign. And the third chapter, the finale, will be part of the book, which has never been seen before. So yeah, I think I will hopefully have more things like links and stuff up soon. Like I need to add it to my website and those kind of things. I'm actually telling everybody here first that it's going to be in April. So I need to actually go make that happen. But yeah, we're on track, and you know, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, we will have a great launch. You know, got some cool things planned that I will get into later. But yeah, we got some art from some awesome people that are hopefully going to be in the book, and we have I just confirmed a cover situation with somebody special, and then I finished my cover for it, which I don't think I showed off on the stream yet, but I will. So yeah, it's been progressing nicely. But it's hard out there, guys, when you're doing independent published stuff. You know, you really gotta spread the word. You know, you gotta get it out there, and that is always a challenge. But I know y'all will be there. Okay, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm just fudging around here. Manny's ready. I know Manny's ready. JR Hulk was good, Brunson, by the way. Any plans to sell any of the pages for Eris? Yeah. What I will have on the campaign, just like I did in the last two, is there will be a backer level that is for original art. And so a lot of the original art will be up for sale. I've got some pretty insane, not to brag or anything, but some of the pages are pretty crazy. This is like my passion project, and so if a page took me 2 weeks, it took me 2 weeks. You know, there was nobody telling me to not do it, and so it's me kind of completely unleashed. So I hope that folks will be interested in seeing what that looks like. It's also a book I've been working on for over 5 years and done. I just calculated the other day I did about 320 pages of other comics, not including Eris, during the time I was working on Eris. So it's also been really interesting as I put the collection together to see the variation in my art style and the progression of the art style. In no way do I think I'm as good as him, but I kind of think of this book as like my Luther Strode. You know, you can see Trad's art change throughout, and I feel similar about Eris. But anyway, more on that to come. I won't bore you with all that. I won't get into all that right now because that will be a future thing for sure. But if you haven't checked out my comic Eris, it is up on TyrellCanon.com. You can go read the first chapter there for free. It's just up there to read. So if you want to get a flavor of what it's for, you know, what it's about, you can go check that out. But if you like the stuff I draw on here, you'll probably be into it. Okay, I don't want to do all this with the pen, so maybe I will just flop over to the brush for a minute. Yeah, there we go. I wanted something a little chunkier to play with here. But it's been crazy because I've been working on Eris for a long time, but also have drawn like a whole other comic that nobody's seen yet. I've drawn like 80 pages of this comic that nobody's seen yet. We're still looking for the right way to put it out, but that's something that, like, if I was going to talk to somebody who wanted to be a comic book artist, like, you got to find a way to start being able to be okay with that. With just like, by the time the thing you worked on forever comes out, you will have been done with it for so long. And you're just like, all right, here's this thing I drew like a year ago. That's one thing about self-publishing that is nice. I mean, obviously Eris took me a while, but usually with self-publishing you can kind of get things out a little more often, actually, if they're smaller projects, because you don't have to fit into any sort of publisher's schedule when you're doing your own thing. So John W. Oh, hell no. What's up, dog? What's up, man? What's up? Good to see you in the chat there, pal. Keep these hands a little more chunky and loose. They felt they just didn't feel right to me this whole time I've been drawing them, and right now I'm sort of feeling like, okay, now I see. You gotta keep them expressive, you know? That's cool, right? I think it looks pretty cool. What do I know? Okay, something's happening here. This will work, I think. We need to knock in some letters back here before I erase, and then we're gonna erase and, you know, finish them up a little bit here. Oh yeah, that was a good one. All right, maybe one of these dying zebra pens. Yeah, sometimes I gotta check my spelling. I'm like, wait, is that spell what it's supposed to spell? Not that anyone's gonna be able to read this, but as I've said before, honestly, I don't care if people can read my lettering sometimes. It's not really about reading it. You see it. I had a letterer one time actually put a word, a sound, their sound effect over mine. I was like, dude, it's right there. It's right there. Oh yeah, we gotta get some of these little veins going here. All right. Yeah, let's do it. I've really been digging this sumo grip eraser. I got just one of them to try out, and it's this one. Right, it's been this one been holding up pretty good, and it does a really good job erasing. And as you know, I'm kind of a Stettler Mars guy, but I'm really digging this one. I'm really digging this one. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. It's like all of my nonsense gets wiped away. All the struggle, and then it just looks like, oh yeah, he must know what he's doing, but I don't. Okay. Great hands, Greg. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hands are definitely something I enjoy kind of doing. All right, let's put some of this black back in here, and then we can see where we gotta go. Oh yeah. shades there for a minute. All right. Edison, hey man. I'm glad you jumped on here too. You've been posting some really great stuff. Mysterious Drones wants me to do a drawing with UFOs. Well, you know, if you check out some of my other streams, you'll see a lot of drawings of aliens. And I might have done one UFO in the past. I do like UFOs. Yep, everybody's saying hi. Good, good. You know, I've been wondering if that, I've only seen it once. I've been wondering if I rewatched the Edward Norton Hulk, if it would be any good. I don't remember it being particularly good, but that's the only one I'm like, I don't really remember anything about it. Well, Coverboy Official, I sometimes do draw DC characters on the stream. Usually on the stream I'm working on either a commission or something for fun. And right now it's just something for fun. So I wanted to draw Hulk, and I'm drawing some Hulk. All right. Doctor Strange chilling in the sanctum is what you were supposed to do, Edison. But of course, made it a little more interesting than that. Yes, you did. Ah, I see, Jeremy. So you think it's not great, but it's not terrible. Sets up some stuff. Okay. Well, you know, considering there's a lot of other movies I'd rather watch, I might not get to it anytime soon. So I appreciate you filling me in, I guess. Oh, man. So little time. Because anything I actually want to watch, I can't just watch it while I work. Whereas if it's like a TV show I don't care about, I can just turn it on while I'm working. So, good movies are few and far between for me. The kids call it mid. Okay. Yeah, Sasquatch is a cool character. Everybody giving Edison some love. That's well deserved and good. It's been cool to see him develop very good stuff, man. Really enjoy Edison's work right now. I mean, you guys, yeah, all y'all got some good talent going on. You know, comics is an interesting medium where I feel like the makers and the fans and it all kind of blends together, you know? You know, if you love comics enough, you'll probably try to make one at some point. So it's pretty fun. Alright. Let's see about this lettering. How do I want to handle it? I could put a zip tone on it. But I kind of am debating putting one on the Hulk. I could put a color on there. I also have some greens here. Can I color the Hulk? I don't know if I want to color the Hulk. You could do gray tones. Or I could just dry brush it. Which would probably make the most sense. Because I do want some more weight on this right now. So we're gonna just see what happens. Something like this. Yeah, we can make this work, I think. I used a bunch of screen tone on those sketch covers I just finished up, and I was like, man, do I gotta order more already? I think I'm good for a minute, but it's just so fun to use. Okay. All right. Edison and Tyrell are two of the folks I broke my self-imposed commission blackout. Well, I'm honored, Nick. Oh, hey, Paddington was really good, man. I didn't see the Heretic yet. Tyrell, what's my favorite Hulk hairstyle? I like just the little bit on top. That's what I want. Just and like kind of bald on the sides. That's the Hulk I want. I can't do the bowl cut. I want it to just be like the little, you know, like his whole body, everything got bigger, but his little bit of hair stayed right where it was. You know, so it's like a little tiny piece on top. All right. Okay, what are we doing here? I think this is it's kind of getting there. These need to be bigger. I think I need to, I don't want to over clean this up here, but I need to do a couple things up here to just sort of tie this together. And then I want to sharpen these edges back up. I think. Well, and that's the other thing I will, you mentioned commission rule, breaking your commission rule. I will also have a level on my Kickstarter for Eris that will be for a commission. So I'll have, I don't know how many slots, a small number of commission slots available via the campaign. And that might be my only list this year. I don't know. I'll probably do at show. Oh, I didn't mention this either. Probably I'll be at C2E2 this year, and I will be doing at show 6x9. So like this size right here. That's what I will be offering at C2E2. So if you're coming to C2E2, come on by my table, come get a 6x9 commission. I will also have some other new goodies and some previews of Eris. Some just fill in some of this with like maybe like a wall is crumbling down or something. Man, I'm exhausted today though. It's been a busy week, emotional week, kind of taking it out of me. So I really wanted to get on here, just do something fun. Kevin Wada and I got into a whole discussion about Pete Scott Summers hairstyles. Both agreed he's best with James Spader's cut from Pretty in Pink. Edison, you're right. The Immortal Hulk long hair is pretty cool. But like when I see that, sometimes I'm like, well, that's just Pitt. You know, and I know Pitt is just the Hulk with long hair and claws, but the long hair was the thing, you know, that made me feel like that's Pitt. Man, can you imagine Nick Klein on a Pitt comic? That'd be cool. When you do the spot sketches at cons, do you have someone helping you at your table? I tried doing it at a local con and just cannot get much done at all because I'm talking with people. Yeah, that is tricky. And so, you know, number one is like, that's why I only do the smaller sizes, because I can't work on the big stuff there at the show. It's just, it's too hard to work on it there, not just because of the size, but yeah, because of the distractions. Whereas this size you can also work a little more discreetly, and so people don't feel like they're interrupting you. Because I'm always worried if I'm down with my head down, no one's going to come over and talk to me and buy my stuff, right? But if it's kind of small, they're not going to come over and or they're not going to be afraid to come over and like bother you or something, you know. And I'm usually sharing a table if I am, and that does help. My buddy can at least run interference for a second. But honestly, man, like even my best shows, it's not like I'm busy the entire time. I mean, some of the busy shows, it is hard to get any work done, and that's why you just stay up late with everyone else at the show at a hotel, or drinking beers and finishing up your commissions for the day. So the nice thing about C2E2 is it's a local show, so I can do a lot of it at home if I don't finish it at the show. And then I know my limits, right? I'm like, well, if you give it to me Sunday morning, I might not have it done for you at the end of the show Sunday. So I usually don't take any commissions on Sundays unless I'm completely wide open. So yeah, it's more about just sort of knowing your limitations and planning for that. And if you can't do them and run your table, then don't do them. Honestly, just don't do them. Or say, you only do them pre-show. The pre-show commissions are really where it's at anyway. That's if I had time, I would. It's more that I can do the 6x9s at the show when I don't have time at home to do the bigger ones. Because you're busy with other work or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if that helped at all. But that's how I handle it. And if I'm too busy, then I just don't finish them, or I do them at night after the show and bring them back the next day. I usually get them done somehow. Somehow. Jeremy has his first show ever this week at IC3. Awesome, man. That's really cool. Wait, where is that? Is that the one I'm thinking of? That's not the one here, is it? Anyway, it's incredible, pardon the pun, thinking that it has to go into stuff like a hairstyle with the Hulk. Yeah, it is. Jeremy Heiler, awesome stuff. Yeah, man. Good job, Jeremy. You're going to love it. I think I've told this story before. First time I did a show, well, not the first time, but my first time really doing a show, because the first time I did it, I was in college still, and I was with a buddy, and it was just like at a hotel or something. But I did a show in San Francisco, which cost a fortune to go to, just because San Francisco is expensive, and I sold like maybe 3 books, I think, and it was pretty disheartening, but you get through it and you keep going. So I'm not saying that will be your experience, Jeremy. You'll probably rock the socks off everybody, I'm sure. But, if it doesn't go great, you don't stop. Keep going. Keep going, man. I did another show where the only things I sold were to other people from Chicago. We were not in Chicago for the show, that I already knew, and then I bought their work. So we basically just traded work. That one, I also did 2 panels at that show too. And on one of the panels, there was more people on the panel than there was in the panel room watching the panel. So, you got to have some of those experiences here and there. Or at least I did, I guess. Connecticut, okay. Nick is also booking pre-con and post-con commissions. Yeah. If I got to work on the Hulk, I'd do Ponytail Hulk. Edison, let's make that happen, dude. Let's make that happen. Well, Edison, you're in aren't you in like Singapore or somewhere, man? Where are you at? Like, what's the shows you guys have over there? I wouldn't even know. Or maybe I'm not right and you're not from there. I apologize if I got it wrong, Edison. Okay, so in a minute, I think we're going to stick some white out on this, and then I am going to throw a zip on him. Because why not, right? I think I have a piece that's just the right size left over from something I was doing earlier. Yeah, he's in Singapore. There you go. There's hardly anything there. Yeah. Bummer, dude. Well, you got to get over here to the States sometime. Maybe New York City, or whichever one's easier. New York City or like Emerald City, whichever coast is easier. All right, we're closing in on it here. These inks pretty loose, but I think we can pull it off. I think if we just focus our energies here, we can get something that works. All right, let's get a little bit of white, a little titanium white. Dude, this car alarm outside my house, man. This thing goes off like 4 or 5 times a day. I'm like, how does this guy not just take care of this freaking car alarm, man? But hey, it's where I live, bro. He got it. He got it. There we go. Yay! Okay. Cosplay figurines and stuff, yeah. Luckily, the pre-show commission has paid the trip at least. Way to go, Jeremy. Congrats, man. That's always the way to do it. Come in the green, black, whatever they say, you know. New York City is going to be this year. A couple pals are not going to attend because the table cost is too high. Yeah, well, I'm not going to New York this year. I did have a good time last year, but it is expensive to go to, and it's a very long show. And it's not like I did fine, but I didn't do great. For some reason, I didn't get really many commissions at all at that show, which was kind of what I was counting on. But nobody's fault or anything. I had a good time, but I was like, yeah, maybe I'll take a year off from this show. I think a lot of shows are going to see some atrophy this year just because of the cost and things being tight and everything, but who knows? I'm sure we'll still have some good shows. Like I said, I'll be at C2E2, and I might be at Cake. We'll see. Cake will be a little smaller this year, but I think it'll be good. It's always good. All right. I think we're almost to our zip tone phase. And we can just pop him out a little bit. All right, where's my lid at? I think I'm also going to do just a little bit to push some of this back here. It's the little things, you know? Okay. Where's that perfect piece of zip toe. Okay, where is it? Is this it? I don't think this is big enough. New. That could do. It's almost too dark though. Oh, we might use that one after all. I don't have any of my light ones left. I really need to get these organized, huh? Yeah, we'll just roll with this. We'll roll with this. We got crowd crushed last year, Nick says. Yeah. I still think you should try to get to Fan Expo Chicago at the Donald Stevens. Yeah, I should try that one. That's not really the one that took over for Wizard World, is it? Wizard World was always really bad. Batman Forever. Yes, you're going to do some Batman Forever cosplay. That's cool. Manny said, how do you announce you're doing pre-show commissions? I never done such a thing. It's a whole new world. I announce them on my newsletter first. So people that are on my newsletter get to find out first. And then I put it on social media. That's it. That is all I do. Those two things. So you could try that and see if that kind of gets you some interest. You know, I don't have a huge newsletter, but usually my slots sell out via my newsletter. And if not, I can usually pick up the rest on, you know, on social media, hopefully, or like someone just walking up at the show. And I usually, it depends on how many I'm going to take, Manny, like when I would, like how far in advance I would announce it. If I'm only going to take like 5, I'll announce it a couple weeks before. You know, if I'm going to take 10, I'll announce it like a month before. So they have tons of time to get them done. So yeah, I don't know if that helps at all, but that's how I think about it. Okay, that'll give us some differentiation there. No, you know what? I want it to be the other way. If you guys haven't checked out, what's his name, Urasawa's channel, the guy who does Pluto and 20th Century Boys and all that, and Manben, on his channel, it's in Japanese, but there's subtitles. There's a bunch of demos on how to do different things, like manga style of doing things. So like he has one on doing screen tones, he has one on doing facial expressions, on doing paneling, and it's really interesting stuff. I would recommend checking it out if you're a maker. Everyone giving some good feedback there. Yeah, Instagram's rough lately, Manny. It's no thing. Yeah, newsletters help. And then, yeah, price list is good. That's a good point. Did I just screw this up? Oh, I missed his fingertip. Oh well. Oh, and I got a piece of got a piece of eraser stuck under there too. Well, you know, this will be a nice dirty one. Who doesn't like a good dirty commission? This isn't even a commission, so. All right. Whew. Who's inking freehand? Edison. Man, you getting the info. Good. All right. Yes, that is my bone folder. I've had it since, well, that one might have been, I have two over there. One is mine that I've had since college. The other one is my wife's. Got to get a bone folder, y'all. You're not a comic maker if you don't have a bone folder. That's what I say. You know what? I don't want to stick these on there. Let's stick them on here. Urasawa, yeah, it is crazy to watch him on there, Neil. You're right. I forgot about that. He's just like drawing with a pen, a dip pen, just. Yeah, that dude is insane. He's drawn so many pages of comics, you know. He's just got like this muscle memory. And he's got such a varied style. He's really a special artist. I don't even honestly read much of his stuff. Like, I'm not like a huge super fan, but he's just he's on another level as far as craftsmanship goes. Go. We're going to do our best to make it a good year despite everything. Have a good year. We're going to make some good comics. This is going to be a Grey Hulk, I guess. What did they call him? Mr. Chill or something like that? I can't remember what they called Hulk when he was gray. When I was kind of like in my prime comic collecting, or, you know, comic collecting and buying years as a kid, it was the period when it was Peter David, I think, and Dale Keown had made kind of this Hulk that was like smart and strong at the same time. So that was like one of my like the first ones I was buying of him was when he was in that phase. There we go. What in the world? Come on now. There we go. Joe Chill. Joe Fix It. That's right, Nick. You got it. Who would be a good host for a Western version? I really do want one, and I will be honest with you guys. I have been talking about this for years with like I want to do one, right? I was like, I'll do it, and I was really wanting to do it, but I've been talking about it a lot with Dan, and I know Dan would like to do it. He might be a good host. He's a little more personable than me. I'm kind of a grump sometimes. I don't know who the best host would be. Somebody who's knowledgeable, not necessarily like, my favorite artist or something, but just someone who's got a lot of knowledge. It'd be cool to get somebody that has also done different types of comics, not just, say, superhero comics. Yeah, Mon Ben is one of my favorite things. It's so inspiring to watch. I love some Mon Ben. Oh, this is your daily dose of screen tone ASMR. Yeah, if I had the time and the equipment, I would start doing a Mon Ben right now. I mean, in Chicago, I know so many people I could interview. It would be so fun. Unfortunately, I have to work every waking hour to try to make ends meet, so I don't have time for that. But maybe I could do that at some point. It was when I started my Patreon and my YouTube channel is one of the things I wanted to do. One thing I did do for a little bit was I had a podcast. Haha, nobody ever has podcasts, right? No, I had a podcast called Drawing Conversations. You can actually get it on my website, and I would interview different creators while we were drawing. But it was just audio, right? So you never saw what the other person was, what the people were drawing. But it kind of was nice to talk to people about random stuff while they were drawing. And sometimes we'd talk process, sometimes we would talk about whatever, ghosts or whatever, educational systems, drugs, I don't know, whatever would come into our minds. It was fun. I think it's fun to hear people discuss how they make things, though. Absolutely. Especially if you are a maker, you can kind of learn so much just from hearing, some artists say how they, created some effect or something. I was watching Urasawa do the screen tones, and they were showing where he had done like a light scratching with like an eraser, and then he would harden up the edges, and it made these beautiful clouds. It was so cool. Edison, I would like to, man. Someday, I will. I do have some interviews with artists on my channel, though, too. If you guys check out my channel, there's a section called interviews. Some of them are of me, but there's some I did for my Speculative Relationships anthology. So there's like one on there with Dan from ages ago, my friend Mike Manamivable, and Isabella Rotman, and really fun. We got to go into their studios and stuff. It's kind of like a prototype of what I would do, I'd say. I mean, they're pretty old at this point, but That's getting there. That's kind of cool. You better be getting there. I'm tired. No, I think I am genuinely liking this, liking where it's going. I just want to firm up a few more spots here. Maybe we can do some fingertips. I was telling myself I would play some more Resident Evil 2 tonight, but I might just go to bed. I am tired. Okay, I want to block out some of this too. All right, there we go. That's looking about right. What do you think, y'all? Thinking about got it? I just want maybe something else on these letters. Had a great time hanging out. Good seeing you, Edison. Thanks, man. Oh, yeah, go check out the interviews. Good seeing you, man. Actual Dracula. Me and my son have been playing Arkham Knight this month. Oh, yeah, man. That's cool. That's fun. Maybe I'll try this white pen again. Now, so I bought it. Oh boy, a lot of leak in there. I bought a new printer because mine had stopped working, and I got it all plugged in. Started scanning with it. Scanning was working great, and then it wouldn't print anything. And then it started throwing error codes, and it wouldn't do anything. So now I've got to get it replaced. Luckily, they're going to replace it for me. But I've been sans printer for my large format printing, which has been a drag. Luckily, I could still print postage with my wife's printer. But, you know, I let my other one go a little too long. I had it for 6 or 7 years. And then I was like, yeah, it's time for this to go. All right. That looks like Hulk to me. One more thing. Let's just do... Actually, okay, one more little thing over here. I forgot about my rubble on top of Hulk here. All right. Yeah, Edison, that's a great idea, buddy. I keep thinking I need to, but I I need it bigger for when I'm showing the other stuff. I need to figure out how to have two setups in here because I need it bigger for when I'm showing the books. But then when I'm doing these smaller commissions, it's like I need or these drawings. It needs to be smaller. Anyway, good recommendation either way. Thank you so much. All right. 2025. There we go, guys. Hulk. Hulk. All right, folks. I think that's going to be the night. Again, stay tuned for more news on Eris. If you haven't liked and subscribed the video, go ahead and do that. That would be awesome. Subscribe to the channel. Blah, blah, blah. Because I would love for you guys to catch the next few streams when I start talking about that stuff. So enjoy your evenings, everybody. Rock and roll. Stay out of trouble. And we'll see you soon.